one message, it would be that he would want all of you to join the campaign and help us change what's going on in the Michigan political scene. Let me tell you just a couple of things that I think you would find interesting as people who write blogs and do stories and find the interesting things in politics. This is going to be the classic race in the country of a typical establishment Republican politician running against a freedom-minded, kind of libertarian-leaning Republican who's fighting against the establishment. Let me tell you just a couple of quick anecdotes about Clark. Max and the gang did a great job telling you about him, and I'm going to tell you 3 things about him, and I'm going to remember all 3. First off, when Clark was appointed to run the Ann Arbor Railroad, it's true what Max said. Elizabeth Dole came to him and said, look, I've got a railroad in Michigan, we just need to shut it down, would you be our bankruptcy trustee? Clark Durant said, yeah, let me try to fix it first. He took a railroad with $100 million in claims against it, turned it into a viable railroad where they saved jobs. He had 25 unions, condensed it down to 3. And in a state like Michigan, that's a great job producing story. The Cornerstone schools. Max is right, 5,000 kids in Michigan, in Detroit, have gone through these private schools. I want you to think about this. On Monday morning in Detroit, Michigan, I want you to think of a typical inner city street. You have people who have burnt out homes, you have crack houses, you have somebody on your block that's been murdered and people that have been to prison. These children go to Cornerstone schools that are orderly, they're clean. You're in 1st grade, you learn Mandarin Chinese, you learn how to play the violin, you learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. 95% of those kids end up going to college. We have Ivy School graduates. This is a miraculous story about how freedom works. This is a great story to tell. One more anecdote about Clark. Ronald Reagan appointed him to be head of legal services. Every single year, Clark Durant went to the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House and said, do not raise my budget. A U.S. Senator said to the legislative liaison, you tell Clark Durant to shut up and take an increase just like everybody else does. Guess what party that senator was from? Well, he's actually from the 3rd party. He was an appropriator. Ted Stevens, the Republican from Alaska. And that's the kind of fight the power guy that Clark Durant is. So we want you to join us. We're running against a guy who did the following things. He voted for TARP, he voted for several debt increases, he voted for cash for clunkers, he voted for Medicare D. He's horrible on trade. He's just your typical establishment Republican. We need you to participate. We can't do this without you. Help us fight the establishment. Thank you.